Welcome in. So in this session, we'll be talking about using mindfulness and applying it to the situations where we are overspending or emotionally spending when certain situations come up. So what often happens is using mindfulness can be really helpful. It's super powerful because it helps us to become conscious of the behaviors and the automatic reactions that occur in particular circumstances or when particular emotions or thoughts arise. So the issue with overspending is that the behavior is often triggered by something outside of our awareness. We've learned through repetition that in a particular set of circumstances that we will respond by making a purchase. So this could be as simple as searching online stores at the end of the day when we're relaxing, or it could be triggered by emotions like feeling stressed or anxious or bored or even happy. We might engage in those behaviors that are attached to that particular emotion. So it really helps to apply present moment awareness to fully understand what's happening in order for us to be making those purchases. It helps to bring curiosity to what's going on. So I'll run through a number of questions or key points to pay attention to when these scenarios arise. So you can, in going through, we can think back to perhaps a previous example of when you've made a purchase and then later regretted it or wondered why you made that purchase, thought maybe it was a little useless. Or you can apply this going forward, and in any case, we want you to apply this going forward in paying attention and noticing what's going on for you when you're making these purchases. So the first question is, what is it that happened previously or immediately before the purchase that caused you to react in a spontaneous way around money? Was it that you had a frustration with your boss maybe, and during your lunch break you went out shopping in an effort to change your emotions? Were you bored at the end of the day and found yourself surfing the net and the online stores? Were you feeling really bad about yourself, maybe lacking some self-confidence? What exactly was it that was your last trigger? And what was the behavior that was linked to that event? Did you buy something online? Did you buy it in the store? Did you start looking around at different ways, or maybe your emails, different ways you can make purchases? Or alternative, and that's in the case of underspending, but you can actually have the same sort of reaction. Sorry, that's related to overspending. You can have the same reaction to underspending. So you can you be in a position where you really need to make the purchase. Maybe you're in the supermarket and you need to buy certain things in order to make sure that you can cook your dinner for the evening. But in a particular set of circumstances, you refrain from making that purchase, or you procrastinate, or you overthink as well. So the next question around that is, what were the emotions around that action? So what sort of feelings did you have? Were you feeling scared? Were you feeling lonely? Were you wanting to celebrate an achievement? Were you happy? What was the feeling underneath the action? Then it's worth considering, what were the benefits of that action? How did it help? And what were the negative consequences? What did not help? So maybe you had to put those purchases on your credit card and you're already in overdraft, or you've been trying to pay down your credit cards and that's against what you're really trying to achieve on a bigger scale. So what are the consequences? Then who were you with when you were making those decisions? Were you in a group? Were you with friends, a spouse? Were you on your own? Who was around you? And then where were you? Were you at home? Were you in a shopping mall, the supermarket? Were you going for a walk? Where were you? Were you in the kitchen? bedroom. Place yourself in that location. Also, what were you thinking about? What were you telling yourself, or what was the belief that was behind that behavior? Maybe you were saying that if you purchase this particular course, you'll feel more confident, you'll have a more organized business, or if you buy this dress, you will feel more attractive and look more attractive. What was the thought process and the beliefs? And then the final part is, how can you predict how you may react in a similar situation based on the last time you acted that way? What is likely to happen next time, and what can you do to prevent that? So, for example, if it is the scenario where when you're bored, you have a tendency to go onto Amazon and you start scrolling using your phone, maybe you can take actions like putting your phone away, or putting time limits on the ability to access various apps. And you can also maybe set notifications for affirmations to be cropping up on your phone, like I am worthy, I am enough. Or you can have images on your phone of the bigger goals that you're trying to achieve. All of these things will help to change that subconscious belief system and the automatic reactions that are automatically coming up in those particular situations when you're feeling that way and when you're thinking about those sorts of things. So it helps to become mindfully aware of our emotions and thoughts at the time. The other benefit of applying mindfulness is that we can learn going forward, looking ahead, to take our thoughts and our emotions a little less seriously. We can expand our awareness and appreciate that our emotions and our thoughts will pass. We needn't struggle against them, but we needn't necessarily act on them either. And it all begins with the awareness to start with. And what happens when we pay mindful attention to what's going on in those moments going forward is that we stop the behavior. Rather than immediately reacting by making a purchase, we take a pause. We stop and we check in with ourselves and what's going on. And then we can move forward with a deliberate awareness, taking the actions that we want to take rather than reacting. And we can refer back to the alternative options that we've already come up with in considering what else could I do. Maybe I can, rather than buying that dress, I can go back and have a look through my cupboard and see what dresses I already have. Maybe I can remove dresses that no longer fit me so I don't feel bad about myself in that way. And it's thinking through how you can allow the emotion to arise, be present, allow self-compassion, what other actions are available. And it's really by noticing and feeling, being aware of what you think, observing them, that you gain distance from what is coming up and you don't necessarily fall into those automatic reactions. And that is how we break this cycle of thinking and feeling and emotional purchases. So that basically is what mindfulness can do to help you with your emotional and overspending. Thank you.